my mask off, and Dr. Part to do that. With the top, we need to do and everything, so we'll do that. All right, first item here is roll call of members. Could you do that with stars?
Mr. Jeter, District 1.
Here.
Mr. Tipton, District 2.
Here.
Mr. Herron, District 3.
Here.
Mr. Bricky, District 4.
Here.
Mr. Mann, District 5.
Here.
Ms. Hood, District 6.
Here.
Ms. Kruby, at large.
Here.
Thank you, ma'am. With that, we'll go to item 4, approve the agenda. Is there any amendments or anything we need to change with stars?
Mr. Herron has an amendment we would like to add to the minutes, just as a clarification.
Yeah, on the minutes, we talked about last.
Let's do the agenda first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Now approve the agenda. Was there anything in it that needs to be changed?
No.
Okay. We need a motion to approve the agenda.
So move, Mr. Chairman.
All right, Mr. Tipton made a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll say.
All right, Mr. Herron, second. Any discussion? All in favor, vote saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Now we'll do the minutes. You said there's something need to be changed.
Yeah, we talked about Duffield, the life-saving crew down our last meeting, and I misspoke. In the minutes, it says that it would cost $5,000 for one crew. What it should have said, to break that down, it was $10,000 a month, but that included 2 crews, which was laid off, which is 4 full-time and 6 part-time. He just wanted to make sure we had that there.
Okay. All right, anything else before they approve the minutes? Anything else need to be changed? Thank you so much. Now I need a motion to approve the minutes as presented to you on from April 1st, 2020.
So moved.
Mr. Jeter made a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Bricky, second. Any discussion? That's the amended minutes. All in favor, vote saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Next item is assistance expiration period, and I'll read this little short statement here. We'll get right in. Assistance expiration period is upon the meeting when anyone who wishes to address the board staff may do so. If you wish to speak, please come to the podium and state your name, where you're from in the county, and or what organization you represent. The board may or may not respond to anything that you say, but we will take everything you say into account when making future decisions. Please keep your comments concise and business-like. If no one has signed up to speak, we have no particular order. We just ask that you take turns and speak your business. Any action will be considered after we close citizen expression. We are now at citizen expression. Hey, one citizen here, I would mention David Carter's here. So David, you have anything?
I don't have anything to do.
Okay, but glad you're here. He emailed me last night and wanted about coming. I said it's open, so you're here. We thank you for coming. All right, anyone? But we'll come out of this expiration period, the shortest one we've ever had, and nothing to do there except move on to item number 7. All right, this item 7 is a public hearing on the possible readoption of an emergency ordinance to effectuate temporary changes in certain deadlines and to modify public meeting and public hearing practices and procedures to address continuity of operations associated with the pandemic disaster. With that, we will have the public hearing, and we'll go into that now. Anyone want to speak? If not, we'll come out of the public hearing on this, and I think we all pretty well know without a lot of discussion what we need to do. Do you need to say anything about this, Sally, or Brenda?
I can just clarify.
You all had adopted this as under emergency procedures last time, which would make it effective for 60 days. So to have it effective, so it'll last for 6 months past the disaster ending, we'd need to re-adopt it, and that's what this is. It's the same ordinance, but we're just doing it under proper procedures with advertisement and a public hearing.
All right. Anyone else want to speak? Now we'll come out of the public hearing, and we will entertain a motion to approve this this emergency ordinance as presented to you. Do we have a motion to do that?
I'll do that, sir.
All right. Mr. Kruby made a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Tipton, second. Any discussion? All in favor, vote say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So motion carried. Item 8 is something we do every year for the operating of the schools, and it is a $4 million line of credit them operate for the 2020-21 fiscal year, and so we always do that. I don't think there's a lot of discussion on it or anything, but something I would do. They need that, that gets them through until they get their money start coming in. So without a lot of discussion, if you have something on this, anybody want to speak on it? Any on the board? All right, we'll need a motion to approve this line of credit for the school system.
I'll make a motion to approve the line of credit for the schools.
Mr. Harris made a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Ricky, second. Any discussion? All fair vote saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next item is to ratify letter of support of the Lone Pine Industrial Facilities Authority grant for a project intersection in the city of Norton. It's over 2358 interchange, I believe it is, isn't it? Where that's located.
That's correct.
I've seen some work there. They're doing some clearing on it. It's just a ugly looking sign there where it was an abandoned strip mine. So anyway, what that is, I'm thinking, isn't it?
That's correct. They're in the process right now of moving the high wall and relocating some utilities. So a lot of work going on that project, and we've been very fortunate to be involved as a regional project. And hopefully, once everything's finalized, that's going to be a revenue sharing for Scott County, and we'll be able to get some income from that project.
If you drive through there, it's an ugly side, and it'll look a lot better once you get that high wall removed, and so it's a good deal. For us to be a part of it, it sort of shows the regional approach that is happening within Southwest Virginia, where we're being a part of it. So especially get to the revenue sharing part of it. So anyway, we'll do this letter in support. I don't think it'll be an issue here. So if you entertain a motion to approve this letter of support.
So moved.
Mr. Jude made a motion. Do we have a second?
I second.
All right, Ms. Hood, second. Had to find your name before I could say it.
Did you forget me?
No, I just have to look at your name. Sometimes it's an age thing, You'll get there on that. All right, we have a motion and a second. Do we, any discussion? Not, need to vote. All in favor, vote saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item 10 is authorize the county administrator to sign agreement with the YCMA accounting software. So, Ms. Sarn, do you want to briefly tell us what that is?
Sure. It's on your tablet, the authorization that I need to sign. This is an accounting software that we are implementing. It's for payroll, that'll make the payroll process much easier for our accounting staff. That cost is going to be split with the school system and the county. So we've got that ready to purchase this fiscal year. We just need authorization. I just need authorization to sign this agreement and get that process started. If the accounting software or payroll software will actually go into effect July 1st, but we're going to be able, by signing this agreement early, get everything up and running, and that way he's ready to go with the July payroll.
The cost of it's how much?
$15,000.
All right. That's pretty important. That always update things like that. So, all right, we need to authorize the administrator to sign this agreement. Do we have a motion to do that? Mr. Tipton made a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Herron, second. Any discussion? All in favor, vote saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next item is item 11. It's the mutual aid agreement for the sheriff, and Ms. Sargent, you want to go ahead and sing it, but everybody to be in the record is what this is.
This is the same agreement basically that we've done with Lee County, Washington County, and Russell County. So this should be our last one with Wise County. The sheriff just sent that up requesting that we take a look at it and see if we are in agreement to do a mutual aid with Wise County, the same as others. And it is on your tablet.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Ms. Starnes. And so this is important. All the counties do this, and so being a part of that is a good deal for our sheriff here in the county. So, do we have a motion to approve this mutual aid agreement with Wise County?
I'll make the motion to approve it.
All right. Ms. Hood made a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
All right. Ms. Crudy, second. Any discussion? All in favor, vote saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next item is item 12. Ms. Amy Vickers.
I've got
You
hers.
got hers? I didn't see her, so I thought maybe you did.
We have two appropriations. The first one appropriate $2,042.81 to Circuit Court Clerks Technology Trust Fund Capital Outlay Office Equipment 29-21655-8102 for monies received and deposited at the Treasurer's Office, and appropriate $4,590 to Sheriff Police Supplies 31200-6010 for a reimbursement received and deposited at the Treasurer's Office. Those are the only two appropriations.
Do we have a motion to make the appropriation as described by Ms. Arms?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
All right, Mr. Ricky has made a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Next item is the appointments, and, there you are, Tina, I look for you. All right, Ms. A, if you would.
I gave you a packet of applications. The first one will be for the Recreation Advisory Board. These are done by district, so the very first one is for District 1. Betsy Gibson has been serving and she did reapply. She's the only applicant you have for that one.
All right, do we have any nominations for this advisory board?
I'll nominate Becky Gibson.
Any other nominations? Not, need a motion nomination to cease and vote by acclamation.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
All right, Mr. Tipton made a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Herron, second. Discussion. All in favor, vote by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
For District 3, James Stidham has been serving and he did reapply. He's the only applicant that we have.
Do we have any nominations for this position on Recreation Advisory Board?
I'll nominate Mr. Stidham.
Okay. Any other nominations? Need a motion nomination to cease and vote by acclamation.
I make the motion.
Okay, Ms. Stood makes a motion. Have a second.
I'll second.
Jeter, second. Any discussion? All in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. All right, one more.
For District 5, Mitch Taylor has been serving and he is interested in serving again. He is your only applicant.
District 4.
District 5.
Okay. Do we have any nomination for this position in District 5?
I'll nominate Dick Stover.
All right, any other nominations? Not, need a motion to cease nominations and vote by acclamation.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
All right, Mr. Tipton made a motion. Do we have a second? Second. Mr. Ricky, second. Any discussion? All in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Jim Collins has been serving on the planning commission and he is not interested in serving again. He did not receive any applicants for this.
Do we have any nominations for the planning commission? Was that advertised? I guess it was and everything, so.
Yes.
We'll probably need to make some phone calls, get somebody on this that will really help us with that. That planning commission is probably a very, very important board. So, if we can table this, there you go, David.
I was trying to get us one right here.
You do a good job.
I think we can do it. He's on there. He can't stop us, can he?
The only citizen I see.
That would be great having you on there. You'd be great for it. It's just,
Meets in the fall real early.
No, I don't think so. Softball gets started back up here. I'll be full blown in this.
all right.
Thanks, so.
Okay. We'll put it out there again and, we'll find somebody to serve on this. It's very, very important. All of them report, don't get me wrong, the planning commission, they've got a big job, so. Well, we can table that and we'll advertise again for the,
Keep in mind that you're gonna have another opening as well
okay.
because of Mr. Jennings passing away.
Right.
So you'll have two next month to consider, so just be thinking about that.
Yeah, that was something, about him passing away and getting sick that quick and he done a good job on that, planning commission, really did.
Was he on, he was what commission was he on? What?
Planning
Thank
commission.
He was on the planning.
Yeah. All right, and then one more, I think,
Okay, Robert Sally has been serving on the Building Code Appeals Board and he did not reapply.
How do they meet, you know, do they meet?
They never do meet.
I didn't think they did, I didn't. There you go, David, don't ever meet. All right, do we have any nominations for the building code appeal? I will table it again also till June.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Next item is the county attorney item, Ms. Cagley, if you will.
I'm up here to say I don't have anything, but I'm happy to answer any questions. if you all have anything.
Anybody have anything for Ms. Cagley?
I had a call from Jeff Harrington, we sort of spoke just briefly. He just wants some more information, you know, they talked about ordinance, you know, and I mentioned to him a resolution, that's what we had sort of talked about.
Yeah.
But he would just maybe get some more information and maybe I could share it with him, or if you could meet with him, maybe, I don't know if that's possible.
Okay, we'll look into that.
Yeah, just,
We'll wait for the law to
right.
become official and then
You know, I expressed my feelings about it, you know, I mean, it's, I don't see a problem with it, but, you know, the Constitution plainly protects it, you know, and, you know, there's gonna be some court issues, I'm sure, with the decisions that they made here in Virginia. So, you know, I sort of thought, you know, we need to wait, you know, like you said, wait and see what these court decisions might say. Of course, that might be 2 or 3 years down the road. But anyway, it's just, he had contacted me
this is about the one where you,
about the localities.
yeah, if you don't have the ordinance, then you're not regulating anything. It
Right.
just gives you authority to have the ordinance,
Yeah.
which you all aren't gonna do.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
But that just, so he had contacted me.
Okay.
I guess just keep it fresh on our minds. I think that's basically what's going on now.
One quick thing, I got a message from a member of the Dungan Fire Department, and I didn't know this, I was learning, that they want to start a junior firefighter program. And I thought they could do it, but then they found out it has to be, has to be approved by the board of the advertising and public hearing. I was in contact with Ms. Cagley about that. And so they'll probably want to do something in June on that, but I was assuming, I didn't have to do that. I thought they had junior programs before, but it has to be approved with this board, through an ordinance. Is that what you said you need to do? And, so anyway, he had found that out, and that's how he said he was doing it back when he was young, before he was 18. So I thought, you know, if they could do it in time, but apparently they can't, it had to be done through an ordinance. So would that cover the whole county once we do that?
I think we can do so much, but not any of the real firefighting
Right.
stuff. The way that-
Liability issues are, but if they're under 18, and is there anything with that we would need to think about? I mean, if you think about it, I'm gonna blindside you with that.
Yeah, no, as a county, I don't think so. I think each group might, there is probably regulations for that they are under, if they have that program. Probably covers that kind of thing.
But what they'll probably do is present something at the June meeting, for us to approve or to advertise for the public hearing on it. So anyway, but I want to bring up, I did not know you had to do that, but I thought, well, I'll ask, you know, Sally, she said, yeah, they did. So you know what you need to do, so. All right, anything else for Ms. Cagley? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Next item is our county administrator item of the claim, so Ms. Arms.
You should have the treasurer's accountability in your packets. General fund balance, $4,846,329.84. Early claims for the month total $37,454.78. Some of the larger claims for the month was advanced disposal, $40,800.10. Our trash has really increased, with people staying at home. Everybody must be cleaning out, because, we're seeing that growing weekly. Appalachian Juvenile Commission, $16,885. Greenville Turf and Tractor, $10,572.64. Planning District One Behavioral Health Services, $12,859. Southwest Virginia Regional Jail Authority, $690,570.49 for fourth quarter payment. And Treasurer of Scott County, $14,099. That's just a reimbursement from, E911 for our shared IT services where they pay a portion of his salary. So total current claims, $867,040.83, and for total approval today with early set and regular is $904,495.61, and that amount has been deducted from the general fund balance that I gave you just a few moments ago.
Well, down quite a bit from where we were this time last year.
A lot of that could have to do with the budget. We anticipated having to use over $600,000 to balance the budget for this fiscal year.
Right.
So,
True. Any comments or questions before start? If not, we need a motion to pay bills.
I'll make it.
Sharon made a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Peter second, any discussion? All fair vote, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Move pretty quick, I gotta get this done around the clock.
Are you trying to be
Yeah,
2 weeks time? Y'all got a bid or something?
yeah, we are, we got to see. Get this done
Say we're getting ready to stall out.
quick. Oh, all right.
Stall out.
Is there anything in this language, just tell me anything?
I did not.
All right, down to item 16, comments, requests, recommendations from the board. So I'll start with Mr. Jeter, have anything?
One thing I've got is we've been working on the budget, and it's been tough. Frida's done a good job, and we really appreciate everything she's done. We hope we've done what you all want. I reckon we're gonna have a budget meeting next fall to
We are.
finalize it. But we've got a lot of emails from the people in the county about the school money. They don't realize that we've got 50-some budgets we have to do. It's not just theirs. We have to do 50-some budgets. And if they had sat on this board to try to figure out where the money was coming from, they might not be so quick to complain. They need to realize that we've got more to run than just a school. We've got to run the whole county. So they need to realize that. And if they'd look at it in 6 years, they'd realize what it's like. Thank you.
And you all, you and Jeremy both served on that, and I don't know how many times you've been on that budget committee, Darrell's been a lot since you've been elected, and so it's, you've done well with it, and we appreciate your hard work. And that's one thing too about what this board does, is all the different other boards we have to sit on. We've got people, on all the different boards that's appointed by this board, or that you're put on them to serve. And so it's this, probably the next only thing you do in a month, this is it. And so, we serve on, a lot of other things. I know, Ms. Hood and I serve on the admin board, and that's a lot of time, and, social services board, you name it, the BSA office, all serving on it, and it's a lot to do. And, so I think that, most people don't realize what else you do besides sit here in this meeting. And all the emails, I don't have any emails, I probably got 25 or 30 emails from people in the school system. Too. But anyway, it's not my turn to talk, it's your turn.
Okay. I'd just like to say a thank you to VDOT, give a shout out to them. We've had a lot of rain this year. I think we're up about 28 inches or something like that. That's about where normal is about close to 14. I think that's about right. So we're way up. But anyway, a couple of weeks ago when we had that big flash flood, I got a call that evening just as the river had crested, and maybe it just started going down. And it's where the river was close to the road. It's on, Sherwood Drive, Sherwood Lane. And the river had eroded the road out, so, there was no barrels in place, and so one of the citizens had called in. I detected some urgency in her voice, so I said, I'll drop what I'm doing, so I ran on out there, and so I called VDOT from right there, and so Jackie got his crew out there that night, and got it all fixed up, put up rock in there, and then came back on the next day and squared it away, so just a big shout out, for VDOT, appreciate what they do. All right. I know there's a lot of other stories like that across the county, there is. And so there's a lot of work that they're really doing, and they're really covered up now. So we got to do it together, because we, not me.
Yeah. Thanks, sir. Karen.
To add a little bit, I guess, to VDOT, they got the Dean Hollow Bridge open. It's being used, they, while they're doing all this, while VDOT's working, they're having to work during this virus thing too. So it's been hard on them. They're staying busy. According to Jackie, they're behind, of course, but we've had a lot of rain, and they'll get to it eventually. We've been talking about the Duffield Fire Department, or the lifesaving crew in the jail. Of course, they got I'll let Miss Hood sort of add to this maybe a little bit. She might know a little more than I do. But, they got a grant for like $50,000 to do their payroll, so they've got everybody back working now. So they have a crew all day long, 24/7 now. So that was a big deal. But that's just a Band-Aid. They still have a problem with the jail. And I don't know the exact answer. There's a lot of questions and of how things are being distributed about them getting their money, about Duffield getting their money, the ambulance people from the jail. So we can't forget that just because this money will run out and the problem's still there. It's not fixed. Of course, like Darrell said about the school, I got some emails about that, and I talked to several teachers personally, and they understand, the teachers understand, and it disappoints me that one of them is not here, that one of somebody that represents the school board is not here, to explain, what's going on. We're hearing one side of the story. I've not heard anything from them. This is, it bothers me. Some of the teachers that I've talked to, they've left them out to dry. So one of them even said that they've not heard anything from them. They've not reached out to them. That's a problem, in my opinion. They should be reaching out at least once a week and doing an update. But, they're talking about, us withholding this $197,000. If my memory is right, their payroll is $2.5 million a month. $195,000. If they don't have the money to finish out the year, there is a problem. And I don't. It's not the teacher's fault. I wish we could pay the teachers $100,000 a year, but it can't happen right now. Maybe in the future, But if one thing that these teachers that I talked to, they were fearful for their jobs. They didn't know whether they'd have a job next year. They didn't even understand that how the money is going to be, that the money would be there for them next year, and they were afraid. They're fearful for their jobs, and I don't want to see anybody, period, throughout the county, whatever job it be, lose their job. But our teachers, they're still working. They're working from home, and this is an unprecedented time. They don't understand everything what's going on, and evidently they're not getting much help either. But one thing that, you know, about their salaries, you know, I don't know, if, like I said, surely they'll have enough money to finish out. But, you know, this is my personal opinion, however this ends up. You know, if something does happen that the school board says that they cannot pay their payroll, you know, we're gonna have to come back and look at that. You know, we can't just let them go, but we need to know and understand before we decide to pay that, where this money's went. You know, we need to know, you know, this $2.5 million, if they receive that every month, where's the, you know, we're withholding almost $200,000, where is the other $2.3 billion? You know, and before we release that money, I would suggest that we would have them come and tell us where this money is going to go, and have them sign off on it. You know, the governor, and I'll be honest, I don't agree with hardly anything the governor ever says. You know, that's my, you know, that's my opinion. You know, and but I think he, maybe not him, but maybe some of his under people understood that, you know, we're one of the poorest counties in Virginia. They understand that we might be hurting. You know, I don't think we fully economically seen what this virus is going to do to us yet, because we don't have the businesses like other people do. But I'm sure it's going to affect us. And, you know, they've seen this, and that's why that they allowed the localities to have the ability to have this cushion. You know, there are, I'm sure, hundreds of people throughout the county who are not working right now. You know, and when they're not working, that puts more emphasis on, you know, them being able maybe to even pay their taxes. You know, and if we like somebody else said, we've got to work together. You know, and that's the main key. But I'm not going to. Like I said, I wish one of them was here, because I would like to see. I want to hear their story. You know, maybe I myself am not seeing the whole picture. But without them being here, and you know, maybe it's because of this coronavirus. Maybe they can be here the next time. But anyway, that's the budget committee. That's you know, I was a little, I guess, overwhelmed to begin with, but you know, I feel like we're on the right direction. I feel like it's going to really pay. You know, we've got to get our priorities right. You know, our priorities are sometimes, I think, distorted by other things. You know, and then just because, you know, I might have a little money in the bank to be able to go out and buy a new car, that don't mean I need to go out and buy a new car. You know, so we need to get our priorities right. And, with Frida, she does the work. It's like, you know, I'm beginning to see, you know, I've heard other board members say, you know, in the past, you know, they make us look good. Well, they do. You know,
It's hard for some of us to look at that.
Yeah, well, especially me. But she makes us, and everybody, all the staff makes us look good. But you know, I'm excited, and you know, the longer I'm here, the more I'm learning, and you know, I get fussed at a time or two, cussed out every once in a while, but that's all right. You know, that we learn from it, we'll go on. But appreciate what everybody does, everybody on the board, and look forward to the future.
To one comment that Jeremy had spoken about the regional jail meeting before last, we were going to set up a meeting, and then we've had a lot of stuff happen since then.
I have talked to Mr. Clear, and he invited anybody that wanted to attend the regional jail meeting. But, you know, the things I hear from him and the things I hear from Roger are two different things. And I think the best solution would be for them to meet. They've never met face to face and had a sit down meeting. And
Roger and
Mr. Clear, I think, you know, that's where we're gonna have to start, is to get them two working together to get the solution figured out.
Yeah.
And if we have to, you know, be the mediator between that, then so be it. But we need to definitely stay on that.
Thank you, Jeremy, and thank you, you do. Mr. Ricketts.
First of all, I want to kind of take off on what Marshall said there about VDOT. That bad rain we had, I started off that morning, I went down to Downloon, there's a situation down there that some houses, some basements were getting flooded, and it was okay, it wasn't as bad as it was earlier in the spring. And then, Danny, I rode up to Stony Creek. I made it over toward Memphis, can't cross that first bridge, and that's as far as I could get, and that place was wild. I know you went up later, and you and I are on the Wesco board. I saw somewhere that you want to mention, Wesco. That's great.
I got it here, I'm gonna make sure, let me get my turn.
I appreciate you bringing that up and just to, let people know that we have been out there, even though we can't get over where they can see us. And, Mr. Graham, well spoken.
Very well.
I've got some figures that I want to get out that have come through Frida and Sally after we begin the budget thing, but, what you said was on the money. That's correct. And there's some things the public needs to know about our budget process and the school systems, how they, the way we think they handle their money, and the kids how those kids from cross the line figure in and that type of thing. But I'd like to offer some stuff on that later during the budget hearing. It's good to see everybody. Good to see everybody healthy and back. And I wish you the best in the future there.
Thanks, sir. I'll go ahead and go, and I usually go last, but I will. A couple of things I need to talk about. I met with the chairman of the Wise County Board of Supervisors, John Schoolcraft, and our discussion was about this regional jail thing. I don't think they really understood what the problem. It's not their fault. The regional jail's got to handle this, I think. And I said, well, would you want us paying for your all's inmates to help? And he said, absolutely not. So hopefully I've made some inways there with, I've known John for a long time, and talked to him about it, so I believe that they will work with us on that. And one thing's got to be identified: when they haul a patient, they need to know where they're from, what jurisdiction, what county, what city of Norton or Lee or Wise, and I don't know how HIPAA could protect that, why they couldn't ask that, where they're from. And I don't think, and I told him what happened, we had to lay people off because we can't get reimbursed from the regional jail at $59,000. And he didn't say he didn't know that, but I could see the surprised look on his face, like, he didn't want that to happen. I said, well, it's going to hurt the regional jail because the ambulance service, they're back up and running now, but I said, it's going to hurt there because they're not going to be there. If they make the call, then they not be there. And my thought is to go this route. If you got to get somebody from Nicholsville or Gate City to go to the jail, get them come from Wise County. It's not very far to Big Stone. Probably close to be there quicker than Nicholsville can be. So anyway, we'll look at this. Roger, if he can meet with Mr. Clear, maybe get this straightened out and help them keep them up and running. The last thing we need is for any of our rescue services to go away because of something like that. Another item, Memphis Camp Road. I went up there and got some pictures of it, and it was worse before I got there. It was still blocked. I couldn't get across. But it's like every time it rains, folks. And so the problem is not there. The problem is about a quarter mile upstream. And as you're looking down the stream, the creek makes about it's not a complete 9-degree left turn, but it's a pretty big turn. And so I want to get some pictures. That brother of mine has a drone. He's going to fly it and look at it. What happens, that creek is full, and when it rains, it has nowhere to go except come out. And Don King even said right here that he would buy the rent equipment to clean it and fix it if we get in the creek to do that. On the Little Bisco board, I'm going to bring it to them, and Frank Kimber, he's been up there, I had him from Little Bisco looking at it back, and everybody's afraid to touch his stream because of EPA and environmental concerns. I've seen in Unicoi counties on TV where there's one family been flooded 3 times this year, and they said because of environmental concerns, they can't do anything about it. Well, that's horrible. That's the way it is now. But those people there, they have to leave every time it rains. Can you imagine leaving your house every time it rains? That's what they have to do afraid to get flooded. But anyway, the road is completely blocked. You cannot get in and out. Again, VDOT, Jackie Christian was there. They called. They got as quick as they could to gets the road washed out. I got a picture of the road washed out and have to put gravel back in to fix it. I even mentioned putting a low water bridge there, concrete, where they have to come every time it rains and fix the road. It washes out every time it rains. But anyway, I'm gonna present that to Lynn Wisco and get Frank maybe back on it to help with that and get it going. The teachers, let me mention, I got a lot of emails too, and I responded to some of them. I got some, I couldn't respond to all of them. I've talked to them at ball games and so on, and they understand a lot more than, once you inform them, they understand more than you realize. They see where we're coming from. But I don't know where this is gonna end up, what we're gonna do. They got a $670,000 thereabout on that CARES grant, additional to what they're already getting. So I don't know, I don't understand how 197,000, what you said, 197, 190 something. And so I don't know how that can be such an impact if they're getting 670,000 in addition to what they already had. And so I don't know, I don't understand the budget stuff, how they're doing that, and they can't get by without that 197,000. One thing I want to give a shout out, some of the teachers, I've been helping them do it this morning, I couldn't be there. They're delivering meals to a lot of the kids, and they bag it up, and we use our church van to deliver it, and so we do that. And so those teachers that are there with their homework and stuff to get taken to the kids, you know, to the houses, and so they some of the teachers right there, they're getting it done. I'm not kidding you. And some of the kids that pulls up, you can see the happiness in their eyes when they see their teacher. You know, it's just all smiles that those teachers love those kids, and kids love those teachers. Hats off to them. They're there doing it, and so those kids are being reached through this way, and I thought this is amazing to observe this, and to be able to be part of it. You know, it's actually fun to do when you see a kid smile like that when they see their teacher, and you get those stuff to take home, they get chocolate milk and white milk and all that stuff, and they're doing that, and it's actually fun to do. But to see those kids react when they see their teachers out there doing it, so my hats off to those that's doing that. One more thing, the school system again. Mr. Brick and I, we attended the school board meeting a couple of months ago, and I don't know what they have come up with. We met with them, again, just a couple of us, Ms. Orange was there, met with their chairman, vice chairman, superintendent, and they said they would take that before the full board. That's what I was wondering if they did or not, about tuition for those kids coming across the state line. And so we did a FOIA request. I still believe that we could force them to give us the numbers. Number of Tennessee kids coming to Scott County, and we guesstimated 400. It was 352 in 2017. So I think it's more than 400. Do you not really agree? Now, the people watching this, with that many kids we're educating, it's costing this county several hundred thousands of dollars we're paying. And so it would be a big hit if they lost those kids. I'm not saying lose those kids, charge a little bit of tuition. And that's what I asked them to do. They said to take it before the full board. If they did or not, I don't know, but I want to know. Because they've got to deal with this. We cannot, as a board, we cannot do this. The school board has to do it. They have a revenue source there that they're not using. So I encourage them, if they watch this meeting and read about it, I encourage them to look at some kind of a policy, start charging some kind of tuition. Now, if you look in the state law on that, it says it has to be free for the kids living in that jurisdiction, which would be Scott County, and homeless kids. Now, kids coming across the state line from the other counties, the way I see it is they're obligated to charge. It ain't just something they can choose to do or not to do. I think that they by law, they just about have to do that. Other school districts are doing it. I've heard that the kids, you know, the other local counties are doing it because of some kids coming from other places that they're trying to get some in, they're overwhelmed. And folks, I'm telling you, the one phone call I got meant a lot to me from a lady in Kingsport. And I said, we'll probably get another 100 kids when they close Sullivan North. She said, it'll be more than that. And so if we get another 100, 200 kids, you're talking about millions of dollars we're going to have to be paying to educate these kids. We simply cannot afford to do that. And I told some people, I said, it's not like we have the money and holding it back. We don't have the money now. And the worst thing I think I've done sitting on this board is we raised taxes last year, and it still was not enough to balance our budget. We had to take money out of the general fund to balance the budget, even after a tax increase. And so that is my thing to the school system. They've got to deal with this. They cannot, I mean, I met Mr. First in 2012, I was first elected, and he told me some of the impact. I thought, well, if we can absorb this, I was new, then we'll do it. But we're at a point now, we're breaking point, we can't. We simply don't have it. And I didn't realize, it was that we had 50 other budgets to deal with. Is that you, Darrell, said that?
55, I think.
And so it's not just, the school system is our biggest, we're the biggest revenue source for the school system. They're our biggest ones we pay out, beyond $6 million this year. And so you think about that, with all these other budgets we got to give the money to operate. I mean, you know, this is pretty bad. I mean, think about what we have to do and the time it takes and the money it takes. Everybody, their cost is going up, and we keep either level funding or we cut it. That's where we've been for a long time here in this county. The school, we have, I think, the best school system in the state. I really do. But they've got to understand that we don't have the money. We're not holding it back. We simply we don't have the money now to do what we've always done.
Can I jump in again?
Yes, sir.
I'll just go ahead and take this time to ask Frida and Kegwood. One thing that I would like to know, and I promised the chairman of the school board that I would do this. I mentioned Kingsport and how much they charge for tuition for out-of-state students. Just one of our students wanted to go to Kingsport, and it was $9,400. I know, I saw it in the paper, I don't know what it was. But he, I promised him that I would check on Sullivan County and possibly Hawkins County and just see what they charge for out-of-state, how they would handle a Scott County kid going over that way. And it would really be interesting to see. And also, when you talk to them, find out if there is a reciprocal agreement between Scott County and any other county in Tennessee as far as taking kids back and forth. Any system, city or county in Tennessee that's just going this way, we don't charge anything. If we go that way, I would bet it's $9,000 plus per year. Find out about the reciprocal agreement. And another thing, and this is kind of like talking about mom and apple pie, but I've been wondering, and I'm on the social services board, I'll bring this up later, the EBT cards that they're going to put $300, almost $400 on. Those students that go to our schools that are low income, if they're 60% or more low income, every child in that school eats free. Okay, if we've got 400 plus coming over from Tennessee, are they eating free when they come to school? And their parents could be making $150,000 to $200,000 a year. Also, the EBT card, the school system won't tell us how many students they have. I wonder if we could check with social services or the school system and find out how many of those EBT cards are going to Tennessee. Hawkins County, Sullivan, Kingsport, Elizabeth, and Rogersville, I don't know. Maybe that's a way to find out about those. And like I say, I'm not speaking against kids getting free food or families getting free food at this time. I don't have a problem at all, but I just wonder if we could get a number and if social services were those EBT cards. Thank you.
We beat this a lot, and I don't know if we gained ground or not, but that one phone call, I said before, I say it again, the lady called, she worked in Kingsport City Schools, she got 4 kids coming to Scott County, and I said, asked why, and she said, well, I can't, she lives in Sullivan County and teaches in Kingsport. She said, I get a 50% discount if I teach here. It would still be $12,000 for 4 kids, and she works there. She's got 1 kid going to Hilton's, 2 at Weber City, 1 at Gate City Middle School. And so her living there and working there, it would still cost her $12,000 a year to do that. And so she said, but now listen, all she wanted to know from me was what's it going to cost me. So they're willing to pay. They're willing to pay for their kids. If they want it that bad, I think they will pay to let them come here. And also, it'll be a deterrent when these other, and I asked her, I think she lived in Bloomingdale, about solar on clothes. I said, we'll probably see 100 increase. She said, you'll see more than that. She said, I was at least 200. She said, I know a lot of kids in Bloomingdale, and I don't know of a single one's going to the new school when they open it up next to the airport. They're coming to Gate City.
The only suggestion Danny and I got when we met with the school board, the second meeting, the only suggestion was that we let those students that are currently in Scott County come on over free, no charge, and start charging the kids that come in for next year. If you bring a kindergartner, first grader in next year, it'll be 12, 13 years before we finally are charging tuition for those students coming over.
And who's gonna track that?
I'm sorry.
And then who would track that?
Exactly.
You know, that would be a whole,
Yes.
Anyway, folks, it's an issue, and we've got to discuss it, and the school system has got to react eventually. They've got to react to this eventually, because we can't write them a check on a credit card to make sure, that's where we're heading to. We're running out of money. It's simple as that. And so if some math was done, if we figure 400 kids, if it's that many, if we stop paying for that 400 kids, you're talking about, about $4 million, $3 or $4 million are going to be paying. They'll be cutting their revenue by that much. That would be hard to deal with. That's where the charge of tuition comes in. Okay, enough of that. Anything else I see? I'm done. Please. That's it.
I don't really have anything, I've just been listening, and we've got a lot of issues, but we have people who have to work with us to get things resolved. So somebody's gonna have the tact to get the school board and the regional jail and these other people to work with us to resolve these problems.
Yes, ma'am.
That's all I have.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Ruby.
I just wanna say that it is really good to see everybody. I have missed seeing people. I've been quarantined in my house for the last month and a half too, so it is good to be out in public. And I just want to echo what most everyone has said about the school system. I think that transparency is the biggest issue. That $197,000 is not a blank check. That is taxpayer money that has come into this county. That's my money, that's your money, that's everybody watching's money. I want to know where that goes. I want to understand what that's being used for. I think that's the biggest issue there. That being said, I appreciate the emails from the people that are reaching out. However, I will say that, I would like more information if you're going to email it to me, other than just copy paste. I mean, I'm sorry to say that out loud, but that was disheartening to read the same email from multiple different people which read the same thing. If you're going to reach out and do that, please tell me what it is that you are looking for. Tell me what that's going to be used for. Don't just say we need $197,000. I appreciate everybody working through all this. I'll pause with that, and then I appreciate everybody working through all this, everything that you guys have done to keep the county going. It's amazing to me. And I think that's all I have.
Thank you, ma'am. One thing quickly, Darrell and I was a part of back, I think 2012, and the school system kind of was first it said $3.3 million they needed extra. There's no way, we can do that. And we brought it down to 1.6 million, and we approved that. And that's what I told them when Mr. Brick and I read it. I said, we've got your back. We approved 1.6 million extra that year. They only used $1 million of it, but still, we did that. And so a lot was going on that year. They had to increase the VRS and stuff, and I understood that. And we approved that 1.6 million. And what got me was they asked that much. They asked for 3.2 million. We give them 1.6 and they only use 1. Why could they not budget closer? They first did 3.2 million and they only use $1 million of it. And I don't understand their accounting. I don't understand their budget process, how they can do that to ask for 3.2 million, but really only need $1 million. I don't understand how they can do that, and they even mentioned when I said that, well, we gave 600,000 back, and they did. But how could you not know if you do 3.2 million or 1 million? I've never understood their math, I don't know. And I say we'll hear from it after this meeting, they'll watch it, and so they'll probably, all right, anything else, anything for closed session, Ms. Lawrence?
No.
Okay. All righty, so we are through with this part of the meeting. We're going to adjourn to a budget session, and anybody, if you want to stay, you're welcome to, so it's up to the public. And so we will adjourn to that budget session, and we'll probably be here most of the day. And can we get pizza after a while from Pizza Plus? Are they operating? They get pizza something after a while, and then we'll do that when we get lunchtime. So an hour into this meeting. How long did you take the last time? Was you an hour?
I think we were done by 10, 11.
We'll beat it up. All right, with that, we will adjourn to the budget committee meeting, and meeting adjourned. This part of it.